Alright everybody, this is BrickWiz 2014 here, and we are back in the comment question hall with episode 5's question. But first, guys, down here I added a little hidden chest full of signs, so we can use those. But today's comment question comes from Poity77 on YouTube, and it's the 13th, episode 5, and the question was, are you going to try to kill the Ender Dragon eventually? And the answer to that is an obvious yes, because in the end, there's a lot of cool blocks we can take advantage of. For example, we can take advantage of the purple blocks. Now, as you may have saw last episode, we managed to do some enchanting. And you're probably wondering, well, how'd you get all the way down from 27 levels? Because, you know, once you do 30 and you do a 3 level, you know, you get down to 27. How did I go from 27 levels all the way down to 14? And the answer to that is, I died. And I died in the most stupid way. So, for the thumbnail, okay, I take a screenshot. But what I do is I go into spectator mode to take screenshots. But while I was still in the air, I went back into survival mode. So, I pretty much, like, just was kind of a noob. And, yeah, didn't really know, how to work anything, I guess. Well, yeah. So, unfortunately, we did die, and I'm not going to be giving back my levels just because I feel like I should still be punished for, I guess, being an idiot. But it happens sometimes where you do stupid things. So, alright, we're going to try to sleep. Can you not shoot me? No! Alright, fine. Really? Come on. No. Oh, there's monsters nearby. Alright, we're going to just keep their head. No, because we keep all the heads because we keep a couple extra. But anyway, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try do some stuff, and then I'll be back with you guys once I actually have some resources for today's episode. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. I cooked up a bit more food, got some resources regarding our new build for today, and our new build for today is actually something that I just thought would be really cool to put in a world, and this is going to be a world that we're going to put it in. What I wanted to build was, and actually this makes sense and it kind of fits in with our camping village, which is just over yonder, right here. What I want to do is I want to have a bandit cave. And what the lore of this is going to be there's these bandits who, as you travel across villages, try to pillage and steal all your very valuable items and take them, and these are like the people who would like stop your covered wagon or whatever other transportation you would have and try to just steal your resources. But these little camps were like, these bandit camps, caves were thrown just pretty much anywhere. So this is going to be the location of one. And the way we're going to have to make this work is we're going to have to kind of do a bit of imagination, because we do have some pretty big limitations in Minecraft for building one of these. But I know a couple things that I definitely want to do, and for starters, we gotta raise up this ceiling a bit, because we're gonna be doing some things in here that make sense. For instance, we're gonna probably add some stalactites and maybe some stalagmites. We'll have to see what they look like together, or if we want them separate. We're definitely going to be like throwing in little beds and stuff with this wool that aren't actual beds, and then we're gonna try to use some yellow clay and see if we can make that give the appearance of gold, because currently I don't really have any gold. But we're gonna need to first get all this ugly diorite just because it doesn't seem to really fit what we're going for. So I'll just finish digging out this area and then we'll come back, because I don't think you guys really want to see me dig this all out. So yeah, I'll see you guys once I'm done digging it out. So I did a little bit of digging left. I pretty much just covered some things up. But what we're going to do for starters is I want to see how this is going to look. I don't know if it's going to look like something we want, but I'm thinking, we have them like hanging at different levels in the ceiling. I think that could be kind of cool to do something where they're hanging. That looks too, I guess, like planned. We need to make these look randomized, because that's going to be really key in making them look good. So this one here will only be 2. We'll throw one back here, and we might have to kind of spam them around a bit. I don't know if it's going to look better when they're spammed, or they're going to look better when they're just like little ones everywhere. I don't know. But I think it's overall just going to give us that cave feel, which is something we're trying to get. Where's our stone? There we go. Alright, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think it looks decent. They just give us like a bit more of a cave feel and vibe, which is what we need in this sort of a build, because some of it we have to imagine. So having that will make the imagination a bit easier. And I think that looks pretty good. I would say that number definitely works. I definitely want to fill this in over here. Because, I don't know, I just don't like how this was so, like, filled in. I mean, empty. So now it's filled in. We're going to also end up removing all this dirt, because the dirt doesn't look super nice. And also, you guys have to let me know, do you want to see the building process, like, all as it unfolds, or do you like to see all these cuts and stuff? Let me know down in the comments. But we got those. Now what we're going to need is we need to scatter some chests around, because since these are very just thrown around everywhere, in theory, I mean, we're not actually throwing this build around everywhere just because of how many resources it would just require to throw a bunch of them in. We have like 6 chests, and I want to kind of just spam them around a bit. So I'm thinking we could do like one there, maybe another one there. Actually, maybe even we could put them all in this corner and do a bit of a like a raise thing like that. That could look good right there. And then we're gonna throw a chest, not over here actually, because that doesn't really look that good. I'd say we throw one here. And we could probably even do one there, even though it's not usable because these chests aren't really going to be used for anything. They're more of decoration. And so currently that's like what we have right now looking. This is not going to be here, and we're going to be hiding lighting. And actually hiding lighting should be super easy, I think. We'll have to see. Hopefully this actually works, because if it doesn't, then our lighting just got a whole lot harder to do. But I think if we put one torch there and then like that hides the lighting. And I mean, it doesn't look too terrible. I mean, you can obviously tell there's something behind it, but you know, sometimes in a build you do have to sacrifice little things for important factors. For instance, light. Alright, so we have a little bit of light inside this build. We're gonna take the torches out of our hand when we're not like using them, because I don't want to see see whenever I hold it as light, I don't want to see that. I just want to see the light that's actually going to be in the build. And yeah, that looks about right, I would say. That's a good portion of lighting. Maybe we'll throw one light out here, just so that way, you know, we have a little bit of light over there. That works out alright. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be throwing out this crafting table. We're just going to put it right there. I don't know. Looks like a decent spot for a crafting table. And then we're going to do something like that. We'll just hide it in there a little bit more. And we're going to go here, and what we're going to do is we're going to make some carpet. And then we have some beds we're going to place down. We place down 3 beds. So I want to do like something like that, and then we throw, actually this should not be that, that should be just any stone or whatever, and then we're going to put that there. And the carpet is like the pillow, so I guess that looks decent. We'll throw another one right over here, because remember, these bandits, they kind of have to sleep wherever and be alert, so we're just going to kind of throw their beds just all around, something like that. I don't know, looks somewhat good if you envision it. This may not be the greatest looking build just because it's kind of a hard build, I guess, to build. Then we got to do this gold, and we want the gold to be in like a little dugout area. So we have to dig out like a little room back here to hide the gold, because obviously they're not going to store their gold right out in the open. But we still want this room to be easily accessible, because they would want to be able to easily get to their gold provided they needed to, because, you know, if they have to move camp or something like that. But the main thing to take away from this build is just that we're going to be working on lore quite a bit in this world. And yeah, building with lore is something that I think is somewhat hard for some Minecrafters to grasp, but once you do, I think it really livens up your world a bit, which is something kind of important to consider when building. And we're not even going to have enough stone to cover this up. So what I'll do is I'll go smell some more stone, guys, and I'll finish digging out this room, and then I'll come back. And we don't want to place our gold right there. And we're back, and we dug out this room, and we threw like some cobblestone into it because it gives it a bit more character and diversity. We have a little hidden lighting over here, and all we gotta do is add in some gold. First we gotta take out this husk, which somehow got out of the desert biome, but no issue there. We can handle that guy any day. Just gotta throw some gold lining around that. Doesn't look natural for like height reasons. Throw some there like that. I think it does give the impression that it is a like storage room of their valuables. Just something I really wanted to, you know, just add in there, and I think it looks presentable, to say the least. Could always be better, but we're pretty limited on resources still. It does need a one little more bit of lighting though, so maybe we can just kind of throw that there. And yeah, I think it gives it a bit more character. And then also, I replaced those dumb beds on the ground with actual beds just because we can actually use them. I wonder if we actually sleep in either of them. Yeah, we can sleep in this one. So we'll just take a quick little nap and make it daytime because we might as well. You know, why not? And we got our stone still smelting in there, but you know, we're doing decent. And we might actually end up using these chests for some food at some point when we get a little bit wealthier because we don't really have much food besides this. Because then we could use it when we're traveling from this village to something over here eventually. We'll be able to come here for food if we need it. And yeah, we have one tiny little feature I think we still need to add into this, which is there's a couple things that we could add. But one thing I'd like to do is I want to kind of make this water go into here a little bit more. Not super far into it, but like to like here. Have the water kind of flow into this area, just because it'll give the area a bit more of character and kind of make it make a little bit more sense, I feel, just because this water will kind of have a bit more of a purpose. And this can also become, maybe these bandits, they fish for their food because, you know, they steal and they fish. That would kind of make sense in a way. So I'm thinking it just would be a cool thing to add. So we're just going to quickly dig this out, and then we'll have to add, make the water nice and flat, because I don't like this water where it's like being super weird like that. There we go. I think it looks decent. Maybe we'll have to, you know, flatten out, round some of these edges and flatten them out a little bit. But overall, it doesn't look terrible. There we go. Maybe we'll do a little bit something like that and give it like a one little scoop. And of course, that's already broken. But honestly, so is our diamond pickaxe. This diamond pickaxe has done a lot. It's already at only 500 durability left, which is pretty sad. So we have like the water here like this, which actually needs to stop being weird. I think the water looks decent there. And then another thing I wanted to do would be add a little bit of grass in here. But of course I don't have any bones because, you know, I told you we're pretty limited on resources. And I forgot we were going to need bones. But thankfully in our handy dandy tent over here we got a tiny little bit of bones, hopefully. So we'll be set. And eventually we might add some actually gold, we might actually add some gold blocks in with the mix of clay. I don't even know why I was checking the furnaces for bones, but we have 2 bones right there, so we have some bone meal that we can use to add a little bit of grass to the inside of it. And then honestly, I think it's a decent looking bandit cave. I mean, there's a couple things we could do, but I want your opinion on this. Am I allowed to use heads for armor stands? Because if so, then we can actually add like some looking bandit people in here. And we're gonna remove every single flower because we don't want flowers. And then also, guys, leave a suggestion for what kind of banner these people should have, because I do want there to be a banner for them. All right, that's a little bit too much grass, so we're just gonna kind of poke at it until we get to what we want, because we don't want so much grass that it becomes over, like, you know, bearing, I guess, and becomes too much and too obvious. You know, we want it to be a bit more subtle in there. So we probably didn't even need to use that much bone meal. I feel like 3 bone meal probably would have been plenty, but I think it definitely looks okay. We're gonna kind of remove those and that, and then keep some by the river. But overall, I don't know, I feel like we didn't make too much progress, but it's just the little things in this world that are really going to make the world come alive. I do like this here, right in front of the craft table. I feel like I am going to accidentally click it at some point and then it's just going to get destroyed. But to end it off, we're going to have to craft... No, of course I messed it up, guys. But to end off the building of the bandit cave, we need to get a couple of these fence gates, because I want to use a fence gate for it. And of course, watch, I'm going to mess it up again. No, I'm not. Okay, I got it this time. Going to need some more resources. But we definitely need some more ideas like this, so if you guys could leave some comments with like little ideas like this, you know, just a one little build, because it's definitely going to add a little bit to the world, and I think it's really worth it to have even just that little bit of, you know, when somebody's exploring the world and they're passing by here, and then they, you know, they're passing through and they just notice that in the corner of their eye. I feel like that will add something to just the experience in the world. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the episode, guys. So if you guys did enjoy, you know, hit that like button down below. I need some suggestions for builds, as well as what you want to see with the future of the series and just what other builds you want to see and stuff like that. But we're going to quickly remove this one dirt and we're going to place it right there. But yeah, guys, I'll see you in another episode of Minecraft Fortification. Bye, guys!